My name is Charlie McGrath, the founder of WideAwakeNews.com and a host on the Rinse Radio Network. Sometimes I get called out for being, not patriotic or anti-American, and I need to explain something. Nobody that knows me would describe me that way. I served my country. I fought in George Bush Sr.'s war. I have a brother who not only fought in that war, but the following war, and then Afghanistan, and gave parts of his body for this country. At least that's what we were told we were doing. We were serving our nation, protecting freedom. We were keeping Americans safe from a fictitious fantasy enemy. It's not, when I talk about the end of Empire America, that I am not patriotic. In fact, I would argue with you that I am patriotic. It's just I wasn't awake when I took that oath. If I would have been awake when I took that oath to uphold and defend the Constitution, I would have realized straight away that I was doing exactly the opposite of that oath. I was helping destroy the Constitution of the United States. I was helping to destroy the principles that our forefathers gave us. So when I come on here and talk about the death of Empire America, I long for that. I long for that empire to fall. I long for the ability, at least the opportunity, for a great republic to once again rise and be the envy of the world. What we've turned into is a despotic freak show. Now, you got to look back at the last, don't look back 20 years or 50 years or all the way back to, the creation of the Federal Reserve or the Civil War. Look back just the last few years and tell yourself, be honest with yourself about what has happened in this country. Tell yourself the truth. We have the same players, the same exact people shuffled around in different positions, running this nation literally at full steam ahead into the ground, doing everything possible to make the demise harder than ever imagined and more permanent than ever imagined, doubling our national debt in a matter of 4 or 5 years. Telling us the only solution is to heap more debt onto the people of this country. Telling us everything is going to be okay as long as we can have our military projection around the globe. And in fact, try to be involved in society without being just inundated with propaganda about how military service is a force for global good. It's no such thing. It's no such thing. We're spending, by some estimates, well over $1 trillion a year sacrificing our men, our women, our blood, our treasure in order to keep this empire alive. And now, after 40 years of globalism, 40 years of decimation of infrastructure in this country, decimation of a manufacturing capacity in this country, enslaving labor in communist countries, and calling it capitalism, when we use this near free labor in order to decimate our own manufacturing capability and bringing in product into this country and telling you, the American people, a nation that took hundreds of years to build out of the ground, a nation that went through the trials and tribulation of a developing nation through the industrial age to be the envy of the world with the capacity to truly defend freedom and democracy around the globe. We had that capacity. We've given it all away. We've given it all away because of corruption. We've given it all away because of greed. And we've given it all away with the blind eye of the mainstream media telling us this is how society is supposed to be. Be honest with yourself. If you have friends and family trying to tell you, hey, this isn't right, what we're hearing from our president, vice president, speaker of the House, leader of the Senate, our own representatives, at least the ones in key power, the ones telling us the only solution is to go further and further into debt. The only solution is to invade this country or provide some kind of fictitious umbrella coverage in a nation like Libya, flying sortie after sortie, killing who knows how many thousands of people. This is how a nation, a free republic, is supposed to act. You know the truth. Look inside yourself. You know that you're being deceived on every level. The average household in this nation is indebted almost $1 million because of the outlandish spending of a very top-tier elite in Washington, D.C., who is working night and day to keep this empire afloat. Hard times are coming to this nation. It's inevitable. And it doesn't matter what Obama comes on television and tells you about jobs. It doesn't matter what the red team, pop culture icon of the moment comes on and tells you about the American spirit and the American ingenuity. They're all playing the same con game. They're trying to kick the can down the road just a little bit longer, just so they can achieve their goals of ultimate power, of ultimate success, and ultimately it's going to end up in the demise of your financial future, your financial freedom. Think about this for 1 minute. Just think about this for a minute. I'm almost 20 years after fighting Papa Bush's war in the Gulf. My 11-year-old son, my 11-year-old boy, who wasn't even born till a decade after that war ended, the first Gulf War, is going to have the same opportunity to go fight in that sandbox if things keep on the same path they are right now in just a few short years. A never-ending war state is what we've become. And we're being sucked in by a mainstream media that has become apologist for the corporate interests that reap massive reward and massive profit on the death of our own people and people around the planet. Stories are attached. That's all I got.